Hello and welcome to the Women of Ambition podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa Calder Hulme. This is episode 1 of season 2. Welcome back. Today I'm going to share an intro to the podcast as well as lay out the plan for season 2. I'm getting better organized and we have some fantastic women lined up so far. So first off, to newbies, welcome. The Women of Ambition podcast is a place where we explore ambition. First, the radical act of acknowledging it within ourselves. Second, allowing space to explore what ambition means for each of us. And third, moving forward with intention. I define the word ambition as a personality trait, an inner drive to do or achieve success, typically requiring determination and hard work. One of my goals is to show how this trait is exhibited in women's lives regardless of job title or financial compensation. I've been refining my definition over the last year and informing it with scientific studies, and one in particular looked at ambition to see if it was an innate trait or something exclusively tied to workplace accomplishments. The study, The Causes and Consequences of Ambition, published in 2012 in the Journal of Applied Psychology, used a 7 decades-long study to determine that ambition is a middle-level personality trait, along the same lines as integrity. If you have integrity, it's apparent across all areas of your life and throughout your life. Ambition works the same way. If you have ambition, it's present in everything you do, from your relationships to your personal goals, your work, and does not end with retirement. This finding has been really validating for me as I've spent a very, very good chunk of the last decade as a stay-at-home parent, along with several bouts of depression, anxiety, and health issues, which have all caused me to really question myself and ask myself if I'm changing, if this is who I am. Am I this person that can't do things and doesn't want to do things? And now as I am out of each of those fogs, I've been able to look back and discover that my ambition was actually there every time. I had the audacity to expect health, expect support, and work to maintain it so that I could be back to myself. And now I'm realizing that I am a rock star who shoots for the moon across the board, regardless of the situation, regardless of my health. And that ambition just has looked a little bit different throughout my life. So that's consistent with the study. The other part of ambition I want to shed light on is the stigma of an ambitious woman. When we talk about an ambitious man, it doesn't quite have the same tone. I don't know if you've noticed this before, but imagine a pair of parents talking about their new son-in-law, and they say, he's very ambitious. That's great. Like, we hear that and we think, oh, he's a good provider, he's a hard worker, he sets goals, he's achieving them. Like, who wouldn't want their child to be with an ambitious man? Now, I have a really hard time hearing that same phrasing about a daughter-in-law without hearing something else in there, right? When women get ambition applied to them, it's frequently with a raised eyebrow or sarcasm or some kind of passive or even direct implication of failure in the home or other relationships. So I'm thinking of phrases like, oh, she's very ambitious, or yeah, she's very ambitious. And there's that pause and like that, there's an implication there, right? That is not applied to men. So my hope in creating this podcast is for women to see ambition within themselves as a neutral trait. Divorce it from any idea of being power hungry or dominating or valuing money above personal relationships, because all of that is false. I want to show that being an ambitious woman does not equate to being an asshole. And even better, harnessing ambition alongside our strongest values can yield amazing results and has done so for many people. So on to our themes. Season 1 really looked at seeing ambition within ourselves, accepting it, and playing with it to explore the possibilities. And moving further along that path, Season 2 is going to focus exclusively on harnessing ambition. So really moving it from that place of an idea and a concept into application and into the physical realm. So I have 3 main ideas that I want to look at. The first is application, the second is making space, and the third is refinement. And I will attempt to answer the following questions with the aid of our amazing guests this season. So first question, how to choose where to apply ambition. If you're like me, you have so many interests and a very finite amount of time and energy to pursue them. So how do we pick what to work on? The second is how to make space for that choice. A yes to one thing is a no to something else. So how do we determine what isn't serving us and what we can let go of? What takes our energy that might be less significant to our end goal than we realize. And finally, the third, what is the process of creation and refinement, and what can that look like? What's it like to build something from scratch, and how do my ambitions and values align? What if my dreams evolve and change over time? I think as we look at each of these and learn from them, we can apply ambition with intention and really create what we truly want with our lives. As with season 1, we will get to hear what ambition has looked like for each guest before moving on to harnessing ambition. This season will focus each episode more closely on a theme and answer one of the questions that I just spoke about so that listeners can get concrete ideas on how to move forward in their own process. Okay, that's the end of my spiel. That's our arc. A couple last minute updates. I will be posting new episodes twice a month, the second and fourth week of the month. We have a new website. It is completely gorgeous. Go check it out. It's womenofambitionpodcast.com, and you can listen to the podcast there. There are also links to the various streaming services that you can listen to it on as well. There is a new little ability there on the website, which is really fun, and that's you can leave a voice memo for me. So I think that would be a really fun way for our community to interact. If you want to leave a question or a comment or a review or anything there, I can include it on the podcast later, and I think that'll just be really fun. If you'd like to be a guest or suggest a guest, you can email me through the website as well. You can follow the podcast on Instagram and Facebook at womenofambitionpodcast.com. Another new thing is I am attempting to do a visual platform this season. So hopefully the video I'm recording right now will be posted very soon, and we can share that as well. One final point of action for you listeners. I would be eternally grateful if you would share the podcast with a friend or groups of friends or family through social media, through a link in texting, or even just verbally talking with friends. I have found so many women who want to have this conversation and don't know how to begin having it, and don't know how to even recognize ambition within themselves without having shame. And my goal is to take all that shame away. And there is a huge audience for this discussion, and I want help reaching them. So that's something that you can do to support me and to support friends and family. We will be back in 2 weeks with episode 2 with Alyssa Holbrook. She is a life coach and an entrepreneur with a really amazing story of ambition and how it has followed her and been a part of her entire life. It's fantastic. We're going to take a really hard look at moving from that place of sea of possibilities into the realm of creation and action. I really appreciate what Alyssa says. She challenges me on some of my thought processes, which I love. You'll get a chance to hear me kind of stumble and realize, oh, maybe some of these thoughts aren't actually correct. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. And I'm really excited to share the rest of season 2 with you and further along down this path of acceptance, of ambition, and really changing the way that we as society look at ambitious women, because we are rock stars and the world needs us. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.